Hey guys, hope you're doing well. It's Ryan here with DP Marketing Services. And as you probably know, hold on, where'd my little thingy thing? There it goes. We work with HVAC and plumbing contractors all over the country. We help them maximize their lead flow, make more money, get the phone to ring. And it's really cool because we get to watch these guys grow their business to really do things that they've always dreamed of. So they grow their business, they hire great techs, they take care of their families. It's awesome. It's a lot of fun. So thanks for tuning in. Today, coming at you with a video that is probably not super fun to talk about, but we notice when we talk to contractors, a lot of guys struggle with it. And so here's how this works. We're going to use the whiteboard, if you can read my handwriting. So imagine you're a plumbing shop, you're an HVAC shop, whatever, and if you're an HVAC, in the summer, the phones are busy. There's always people saying my AC is not working, it's not as cold as it should be, something. Or in the winter, maybe it's too hot, or not hot enough, rather, because it's too cold outside and they can't get their home warm. Or if you're a plumber, right, when the pipes freeze, the phones ring, or you get it, right? The point is you have peak seasons where it's busy, you have slow seasons where the phones are dead. And a lot of shops we talk to, and this is true, by the way, if you're a one-man shop or if you're a shop with 10 guys that you're trying to keep busy, is understanding the math that helps you keep your guys paid and happy regardless of how busy the phones are. Okay, so you've probably heard us talk about it if you watch any of these videos for long, that we're a fan of doing a flat rate book price. There's a couple service providers who do that. We're not trying to do anything like that about that now. We have blogs on our website which we can link about how to do it yourself, of how to do the math. But here's why this is important. When you understand your financials, when you understand your break-even point, when you understand how many hours of service you do per year, you can actually budget into your price the money you need to pay for your techs during the off season. So this makes sure that even when the phones are slow, you've been smart, you've taken care of the financial side. You can give your techs a paycheck, they're not out quitting, you're not having to lay them off, they're not looking for your competitors to go join. You can keep quality techs year in, year out, peak season, slow season, doesn't matter. And you do this by using a smart view of your financials. So we're gonna talk about what this math looks like. So first, let's walk through again. This might be a little bit academic, or maybe if you have an accounting background, if you're comfortable with the books, this might be fine. For some of you, we'll try to break it down to be as simple as we can. So we're going to talk about your money coming into the business. You go out, you do a job for your customer, and then they pay you. What is that money called to you? You can't answer because you're on a video right now. So the first thing, that's going to be called revenue. So I'm going to write it up here. Revenue. So to deal with revenue, this is not profit, right? This is not anything like that. This is literally money coming into your business. You go out, you do a service call, the customer pays you. This money is called revenue. Now, let's break this down. This is money coming in, right? So, money, great. Not profit. The next thing that we need to figure out is how much did that job cost you to do? So in the case of, let's say you're a plumber, you're going out and you're replacing a toilet, you have your time and materials. How much did it cost you to have that tech go out and do the job? How much did it cost you for the wax ring? How much did it cost you a toilet? You may pass those on to the customer, and that's kind of not the point. We're not talking about the pros and cons, the different models. But we're just really simply, you have the next category of money you need to talk about is how much it actually costs you to do that job. So in this case, we're going to call it the accounting term, which is COGS. COGS stand for cost of goods sold. Really, this is job cost. So if you're an accountant, or if you have an accountant that you use, you're going to hear them talk about COGS, cost of goods sold, which is cost that you only incur as a business owner, as a manager, as a company, when you actually have work to be done. So in the case of this, if you're a plumber changing a toilet, these are only costs that you have when you're actually doing the toilet replacing. So this is your tech coming out in the van. This is paying for the gas in the van to get there. This is paying for the wax rings, any sorts of parts or materials they need, the toilet itself, the tech's time, right? This is all here. This is a minus money, right? So you take the revenue, and then out of that revenue, you're taking the COGS. Now, a lot of shops stop here, and they think, hey, whatever's left at revenue minus COGS, that's profit. And you would be exactly wrong. You would be kind of missing the point of the math, and if you're doing that, chances are you're experiencing these financial swings more than anybody. You're noticing the busier you get, the less money you have on hand, the slower it gets, the more you wish you had money. You're going to notice these pains a lot worse. So the other thing that factor in, which a lot of guys don't, or if they do it this much. They don't do a lot of thought, which is going to be called overhead. This again is money. Now, overhead, you probably know what this is, but let's talk about it as though maybe you don't. Overhead is going to be any cost that you incur as a business, regardless if the phone rings 1 time, 0 times, 100 times, it doesn't matter. Okay? So for that, that's going to be things like your vans. Your service vans are overhead. This can be things like your website. You're going to have a website no matter how busy the phones are. Or this can be things like, here's a good one, your salary. Your paycheck is counted as overhead. You, as a business manager or owner or something like that, right? You're considered overhead, and that's fine. It's not that overhead is bad. It's not knowing how these numbers work against your revenue is bad. So the trick is you want to make sure you think about every dollar that you will ever spend, regardless if the phone rings. So this could be taxes, this could be insurance, this could be licenses. You know what these are. Regardless how many jobs you do in a day, these costs happen to you. You write the checks every month, you write the checks every year, whatever, regardless how busy you are. These are overhead. The challenge now is you have this plus this, so you have your overhead plus your COGS equals this little bucket here, which is going to be profit. So ideally, you're going to say, still after we've accounted for our overhead, still after we've accounted for our job cost, and after we've collected revenue, there's still a little margin in there that's company profit. That's what you want. So now, let's go back to the original thing. Part of what we're trying to do is teach you how to use this insight. Again, this is super basic. We're leaving a lot of stuff out, but if this is the first time you've thought about your business like this is important. What you want to do is use this information to help pay your guys regardless how many times the phone rings, right? So if you're running them 60 hours a week during a busy season and 5 hours a week during the slow season, you want to know that you can always pay your guys. So the way we do that is by annualizing the job hours as a part of your overhead. Now this is where it gets a little bit technical, and we will again link to our website where we have the step-by-step guide. So let's pretend, for the sake of an argument, that your guys do, here, let me get a calculator. All right. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, so let's pretend for the sake of easy math that your service techs, so let's not talk about install, let's only say service, that in the past 12 months, so go back 12 months, that they did 1,600 hours of service. So 1,600. Sorry. And so this is 1,600 hours where they're actually in a customer's home. They're actually replacing toilets. They're actually doing garbage disposals. They're actually working on compressor lines, whatever it is. 1,600 hours. Now you know that there are peak seasons and there are slow seasons, right? You know, your customer doesn't, but you know that every winter the phone lines up and a lot of those 1,600 hours come when it's super cold. What you want to do is distribute these numbers evenly throughout a calendar year so that the costs you incur happen. So if we were to do this, 1,600 hours divided by 12 months is 133. So we're going to divide this by 12. I'm sorry for my handwriting, guys. It is awful. 133 hours a month. So what this means, when your tech works an average month, they should be booking 133 hours. Now, the trick is you can actually factor this price into your budget so that when you have a peak season and they're working way more than this 133 hours, you're actually maximizing your profit. You're keeping that back. You're saving it in the coffers for when it's slower. When it's a slow month, you know you can still hit this number too, right? So 133 hours, it's not that many hours in a given month to try to hit. So we'll put the step-by-step guide into how to do that. But the trick we want to figure out for your business, and every business is different. So don't just look at so-and-so shop or so-and-so online. Your business has unique numbers. The math is the same, but the numbers are specific to you. And what you want to do is figure out your break-even. Your break-even point. Now, the break-even point essentially involves how many hours per month that you do, right? This math we just did, and then how much that costs you per hour. So what you're doing at that point is you're actually building these on top of each other. You're saying that you have an overhead. This overhead is configured as part of this break-even. You have a job cost, which is specific to the job. That's not a variable. But now all of a sudden you have this profit margin that's built in, where in here you have a variable, which then how this works for you as a business manager, business owner, is that when you have this built in, because you understand your break-even, you will make more profit, you will make more income in the busy season, but you're taking that income, that additional revenue, and you're applying it to your tax during the slow season, because what you're saying is you're going to put them down here too. You want to make sure that you're always factoring in and keeping these guys. This includes for secretaries, people who answer the phone for you, whatever. If you want them to draw a paycheck even when it's slow, put them as overhead. And then we can run you through the math and what this means for your business. So that's it. I think if we go any further, it might create a little bit of complication. We'll get into some weeds. We will, again, link the video into this description here. But the point is, understand your financials, understand the volume you need per month, understand how much that time is worth to you in your business. And then when you factor that into your pricing, you'll be making more money in the busy season, which then you are actually squirreling away and applying it to the slow season. So you're always making sure that no matter how busy the phones are, you're taking average call volume and service calls that you're doing throughout a year, and you're applying it to the busy season and slow seasons. So your business runs more stable, more smooth, more lean. As more calls come in from services that we provide, you're able to manage that and grow that, and it's not going to be so dramatic for you. So hope this was helpful. Check out the link, and if you have questions, reach out to us. And let us know what you thought. Leave us the comments. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, and we'd love to hear from you. dpmarketing.services is our website. Check it out. And if you have questions, let us know. Hope you're doing good. We'll talk soon.